already?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to our October 4th, 2023 Policy Committee meeting of the board. We have all board members here. Paige Lehman does want to be a part of this group, but she's still in volleyball. So eventually we'll have her participation as well. And we have Frank. Okay. So we're still trying to work through some of these policies that changed because underlying laws or regulations changed, and NISBA had updates, just to update everyone listening. So we're going to try to finalize 0115 and the R and the E that go with it today, and that is student harassment and bullying. So we made a lot of progress, I thought, at our last meeting on the most of the regular 115. I know I went through and added a few more comments. I think RG did, and Tim, I'm not sure if you had any comments, but do we want to just scroll through this and hit those comments?
Yeah.
Does that seem like a good approach to everybody?
Yep.
Yeah. And I did clean up some words here and there.
Oh, great.
I don't know if there was a missing word or, something needed adjusting. But if it wasn't substantive, I didn't flag it for you.
Okay. So if we scroll down, I think you get to page 2, and RG has one comment. Can you see it? Yeah, you're on it.
Yep.
You there, Frank?
Yep.
See it?
Yeah, I actually have it up too. I think it's right on.
Yeah. So like intimidation, I think it is a form of the other things, but my guess was that was intended to mirror the definitions, and it does not. So I think intimidation is supposed to be discrimination.
No, that's for me.
Okay, I'll make that change.
And it should be there regardless.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so let's scroll down. I think there's something in yellow there because that was changed.
Yeah, we talked about it last time, right?
Everyone's still fine with that, or?
yeah, if you don't mind, what I'm going to do is I did this in 0115-R, like the regulation. Since we have something called the DAC, I'm going to get rid of using the DAC in this policy and just call it the Dignity Act Coordinator, if that's all right. Yeah, because it was confusing me in the other one, so I actually got rid of it in the regulation.
It's better not to use acronyms.
Yeah, and I thought that was one thing we talked about too, so.
That's a good change. I like that.
That.
So I guess we can get rid of that yellow if we're all okay with the. Yep.
Yep.
You want to
I'll get it,
highlight
yeah.
that? Okay. Okay, let's keep scrolling. We're fine with building principal there in bold. I don't know if it needs to be in bold.
I don't think none of it needs.
That's probably because we changed it. Oh, now you put it in italics.
Oh, gosh. I'll fix that. There.
Perfect. Okay, if you scroll down, there's another little yellow section on page 4.
So, yeah, we have more bold italics text, but the district reporting form, is that how do we want to refer to it? Like, I feel like other places we call it that's a complaint form. Like, is it less confusing to call it by name or phone number?
I think we should call it the DASA complaint form.
And then you could, in parentheses, put 0115-E, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would do both.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Where is that?
It's right in that same line you were in.
Fill out the district
reporting form.
Yeah.
Uh,
0115-E, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting rid of that yellow.
So on this one, I just think it should be of. It had said, will provide quarterly reports for the superintendent based on complaints filed. Do you want,
To the superintendent.
I changed it to the superintendent.
Yeah.
Of complaints filed? Like, what do you want the report? I know this is beyond the scope, but like, what do you want the report to look like? Is it?
So I'm fine with on complaints filed because I want to know all complaints that came
Well,
in.
based on, sounds like it's a summary.
Yeah.
She's saying, I think you asked the question, specific complaints.
Of.
Right,
okay.
like, do you want almost like an inventory of complaints?
Well, yeah, so what I'm expecting is I want to know what complaint came in, what was the outcome of the complaint, you know, and what
Right.
was the restorative practices of it, if it was founded or unfounded, what did you do to follow
You
up on
want
it?
to,
So it's off.
Of, okay. So, just like base,
you don't need based. Quarterly reports to the
I'll get it.
superintendent of
Thank you.
complaints
Right
filed. Yeah.
there we go. Okay, it's my comment. Okay. So we have the, or if applicable, and then we have the bracket 0, 100 or 110.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna have both, right?
Yes, I think so.
So we can probably take out the brackets and the bold, right? Cause we're gonna have both.
Yeah. Right here, I think.
Perfect.
Kind of clunky with all those comments.
Yep. Okay, good.
Okay,
Maybe you just have an extra space now. I'll fix it.
okay, thanks.
Okay.
This next paragraph, the paragraph that says the board will receive the annual school safety, which is true. And I think we leave it, but right now our policy doesn't, our DASSA policy, our Vader policy.
Yeah. So I do have an updated one. So
Yes,
how about I get that and share it for next time? And then
I think it's,
'Cause
it's,
the
I
NISBA
think
has the
it's all
updated.
uploaded. Yeah, I created a folder.
And that one seems very similar to
It
what's already
does.
there. I mean, I feel like that's just a rubber stamp, honestly. We just use that one, change it over and call it a day.
Yeah. All right, maybe we can
It's
just
a form.
Yeah, well, actually, it just updates the policy from Vader to
change the
SSCC
title.
and then it adds a couple small language, but it didn't seem like it changed that much when I read it.
Okay, so is everyone okay leaving it with a new language,
Yeah.
knowing we're gonna get right on that?
Yep.
Okay. If we get down to training, there's another DAC if you wanna have that up front.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, and then if we scroll down to the cross references, I just had a couple, and we just talked about this 5710. That is the new title. That's
Mhm.
not our policy title, but if we're thinking we're gonna be able to jump on it, I'd say we just leave that like it is.
Do you think we could look at that before we close out this one today and just go to it quick and
Sure.
see if it
If it's
looks-
possible, sure.
looks like
Well,
it's
if
one of
everyone
those
else is
ones?
okay with that.
5710 is called now violent and disruptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it used to be for the state. We used to have to file a Vader report.
Right.
That's what it was. Now it changed.
Was it changed? Well, so this is the new
Title.
title?
So if we jump over and get to
Update the
5710, I
Yeah,
think we're good. And 9700, I don't know if it matters, but our policy is, current policy is called professional learning, not staff development.
let's just update this to say professional learning. Right, I'm guessing that's a more updated.
I don't know if I looked to see which was more updated.
Let me see if I can look.
I'm gonna say this one's probably more updated
9700 staff development, yeah.
because this just came out, so I would imagine they would have them.
They
aligned.
would have the most recent title.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we need to change our title on.
Yeah, or just keep it professional, just throw professional learning out for now and then change it when you have to later.
It'll be hard to remember to come back.
Okay, hang on.
We could put in parentheses, professional learning, I don't know.
So 9,700 was
It's
last.
the number that's. the
It's
important.
the type,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's on, the number's there.
So 9,700 was updated November 8th, 2021.
I say we just call professional learning.
Yeah,
Just change the title of our policy. Well,
change the title in the cross-reference.
okay,
We just updated it. Why update it again?
yes. We can't even keep, yeah, we've got enough to do.
Right.
So then I can just read my comment. Okay. All right, I think that gets us through 115, the body. So it's already marked final.
Yep.
Does everyone feel comfortable so far with this? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Add
so now
another-
if you get
should
out
we
of
add
this,
another revision? Or we'll just do that?
Probably add it.
Okay, I got it. It's gonna be, our next board meeting, right, November 6th?
Yep.
okay, now there's the reg that goes with it.
Okay.
All right. You have to help me find that.
I
one.
think that's in the same folder.
Same, it's, draft NISBA policy 0115RW.reg.
Where do I-
It's
just-
easier if you just go back to your drive.
Oh, here,
Yeah,
okay.
go to your drive. Then go to your shared drives.
Okay.
Yeah, yours seems hard to back up. I'm not sure.
Tell me
Right.
about it.
I'm not sure why mine's so much easier, but
Wow.
I did, it's not because I set it up that way. And then go to policies. And then 0115.
I had that.
Yeah, I know. Click right in there
Oh, you thinking, okay.
and then go into this final folder.
Oh. yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
And
my
there it
Lord.
is. See it?
That's what, Tim, this is what we were talking about. Like,
Oof.
everything was really confusing on this one. That's.
It's
Yeah,
because
I'm lost in the woods.
it's probably because we're two, it's what updates behind.
Yeah,
So-
listen, I was lost in the woods when I was trying to get it done.
Oh,
Like,
my gosh. All right.
Okay, 0115R.
so I did make the changes to this. What I did was I took the NISBA regulation, which really didn't change that much in comparison to ours. I think I aligned it to our new policy and it should, in theory, be right. So, I mean, if you look at it, but I think it's ready.
I'm just gonna scroll
I
through.
would say, as we go through, I can clean up like these
Yeah.
things where it's,
Yeah, I didn't take
Yeah.
those out.
we can just clean those up while we're going through now.
I took out the NISBA recommendations of the committee that we talked about last time, made them match what is in the policy that we just said was final.
Mhm.
So on like page 2, it says NISBA sample regulation.
That's just gotta get taken off.
That'll just get taken.
Yes.
I can take it.
That's not it.
Oh, yeah,
All
that's right.
all the pages.
Oh, it might be in the header.
Yeah.
I'm not good with Google Docs from that perspective.
Let me see if I can.
Could handle a word header. Now that the kids are at college, you know, they're all back on Microsoft Office, so it's like, now we all
Oh, yeah.
talking the same language, yeah, they don't use Google in college.
It took a while to get used to Google. I'm still,
I don't really love it for documents. I think it's
Well, yeah,
not user friendly.
No.
agreed.
I agree.
I didn't know if it's because I'm more comfortable with something else.
Some of this language that's new, that we have underlined, we can just remove the underline, right?
it's, and again, that was all from NISBA.
Yeah.
You're taking out shall and putting in will.
Yeah.
Mhm. Some of the formatting was off on the bullets. I fixed that.
I didn't realize how important shall and will was, or may, until I became a superintendent.
Yeah.
It can help you or hurt you.
Yeah, I never realized that
Yeah.
until my first superintendency.
Welcome to lawyering.
Yeah.
Increase under one word.
I feel like this is pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm just cleaning up the text.
I see a couple yellow spots.
So in your mind, regulations spell out what happens if there's a violation,
It's processes.
processes to enforce.
Yep.
Penalties if it's violated, consequences.
Well, there's not really even any penalties in this, right?
Okay, that's what I'm.
Yeah, there's no, if you look through, there's no real penalty. It says you may do this, or it could be this, or it could be that. It really is, if this happens, here's what you need to do next. Or if you don't agree with it, then you file an appeal to this person.
So we're not laying out consequences.
Not really, no. It's all about process. Like if you don't agree with this, then it goes to the superintendent. If the superintendent is involved, then it goes to the board. If the superintendent didn't, you don't agree with the superintendent, then it goes to the board for an appeal. That's really how this one works. The one that you wrote, RG, it says, note the board may choose to designate the act coordinator. The decision regarding when and how to use the DAC depends on the unique circumstances. I think we can just remove that.
I think so too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we addressed it below.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to flag it.
I thought I got rid of it. Yeah, that's good. Oh, so the yellow is mine.
Yeah.
So I did put those in as questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that because otherwise I'd forget.
I don't know, I think it's helpful to make notes like that.
Yeah, so our current regulation says 15 days to start an investigation. I think that is a little long.
Yeah. I think it should be 3. I mean, we
Well,
have 3.
I do have an issue with
down
3. I
below.
went through this in my head.
3 school days?
Yeah, so to do an investigation, but then it's not only the investigation. So that's kind of why I look at it. It's the rest of this too. Beginning of this, an investigation of the complaint by, and then look at all the other things that go in there.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, you may not be able to do all of this within 3 days. You may not be able to speak to the victim. You might not be able to speak to everyone else. So I would like to give us a little bit of a buffer in with
Why
that.
don't we change it and just say, within no later than 3 school days following receipt of complaint, the blah, blah, blah will begin an investigation of the complaint, period. The investigation shall include, or will include,
Okay, I'm fine with that.
right?
Yeah, I think 15 days
Because
is.
3 days to start an investigation, like if something's blowing up, like you don't want to be like, it's day 4,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah, that's not okay. No, that's how I felt.
What if you said no less than 3, no more than 5? Provide a little bit of.
Well, I think, I mean, most of the time, it's gonna be immediately, right? Like, you're
Or
gonna
no
get
more
a
than 3,
complaint.
no less than 5.
I'm trying to think. So I was an assistant principal in 2005 up to 2017. And there were times that you try to get things done, but I can't remember the timeframes, right? So I think 3 days is fine, 3 school days.
3 school days to begin the
Yes,
investigation,
not
right?
finalize it.
The investigation could just be reviewing the documentation, right? Like, that could be opening your investigation.
Yeah, I'm fine with, like I said, I couldn't figure this out. I was kind of going through it. I'm fine with 3.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Well, I'm gonna stay on this. This bullet list suggests that that all of these things will be accomplished.
That's why RG's gonna
And
write.
honestly, you want those things done,
Mhm.
and this puts a time frame on it. But if we do it the way you're saying, putting a period on.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, that was
It
my
could-
only,
It could extend,
that's my
forever.
concern with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
This
you're
says
right.
within 5 days, we're gonna have this stuff completed. If you go with 5. Or 3,
yeah,
I don't know what you.
Well, if we would give a buffer of just saying, we'll begin the investigation in 3 days. And the investigation can include, but will be not limited to.
Well, I wouldn't even go, you can say that, but what I like about the way it's set up here, and if I would just change 15 to 5, is that it says within the 5 days, we're gonna have accomplished this bullet list. And that's really what needs to happen pretty rapidly.
yeah. So rapidly, you have to review the documentation, interview target, perpetrator, and witnesses, which could be difficult to do in 5 days.
That's what I, especially if it's a larger scale one that you can't get everybody's answers on and it spirals out of control a little bit, which they have done before when you're investigating.
If you wanted to say 3 days, you get started, an investigation will include the following, something to that effect.
I just would rather not have it be,
So,
it will start, but it will not be concluded.
so the way this is written though, there's no time
No.
frame for concluding the
Correct.
investigation.
Right.
It could take longer. But the things you have to do or should do, right?
Yep.
Is in the 4 bullets.
Yeah, I'm fine. As long as we're all in agreement to just start and there's no word concluded in
Well, it
there,
says the
then
word
I'm good.
begin. And the investigation
Yeah.
is defined as the following bullet points.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we're,
All right, so what do we settle on, 5 or 3?
let's do 3. I'm fine with that.
3 is
As long as we say it has to start in 3, which I agree with. I mean, it should start with
3
1.
school days.
3
Yeah.
school days,
It
right?
should start as soon as it comes in.
Yeah,
I mean,
usually it's
and
gonna be-
honestly, they do.
Yeah.
As soon as we get a complaint, even like when we get one from the anonymous safe school, I mean, we start them immediately.
Yeah. Okay,
Good.
I think this is good.
And then there's a little bit more yellow.
There was, right?
Enough to do. Investigator will report back to both the target and excused within 15 school days.
So that gives you the full time frame of you're doing it, then you can report back saying, here's the conclusion. I'm fine with 15 days. That's what our current says.
Okay.
I think 15 days should give us enough time to be able to come to a conclusion if it was founded or unfounded.
Good.
As RG cleans up,
Yeah.
Frank, you have you deleted that, a poster summarizing.
Yeah, because we've never done it before. Like,
I don't,
I've never seen a poster done at any school, and to be honest with you, I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I've just never seen
I
it.
mean, I could see having like informational posters here and there as well, just so kids know.
Right,
Have a complaint,
but we do, we talk about that, we
Right.
see something, say something.
so
we
that's
put all the-
probably the intent of this.
Yeah, but a poster like in that specifics, I just didn't think it was appropriate.
Frankly, I think if there's a poster that the state wants schools to use to comply with the Dignity for All Students Act, they should develop it. And
They do that
distribute
with
it.
a lot of other stuff,
Yeah, so it's,
so,
to
okay,
come up with your own poster is,
I'm glad you all agree with that one.
All right, so we
I
can get
just
rid
couldn't see the point of it.
I was hoping for a student contest.
of.
We have a lot of those.
Right, we'll just say, keep, yeah,
Yep.
Just gonna shut it down.
I'll do some too while you are. It's gonna be great to be,
this is gonna be just, Jess isn't gonna have to do much.
well, that too, but just to finally get through this, wow. It was hard to dig back in after we had to stop last May.
Hang on.
Is this amphitheater they're building up on the hill there?
On the torque,
Yeah, is that, there really an amphitheater gonna be built there?
I think that's their vision. I don't know
Oh,
what's
it's not, the
reality.
plan is not,
I think that's the overall plan. I don't know if there's a
somebody's got an
plan.
idea that this would be a nice thing, but
I don't know. You can go on the website, in the village
I saw the
website.
design.
right across the elementary school on
Yeah.
a big sledding hill. I want to build an amphitheater.
That'd be cool. Like just a little one built into the hill, not where the sledding is, like
Yeah,
over to
no, I
the.
saw the design of it. It
Looks
seems
really
like it'd be
cool.
community use. I
Yeah,
mean,
The only thing that seems a little odd is, it sounds, well, hopefully the village and town are coordinating efforts between the Hilton Barn and the
that's
North
true.
Hill.
It's like they're doing all that work over there.
But I look forward to, we can listen to their committee meetings to see.
so much entertainment options.
And one other thing I changed in here was the principal designee, the Dignity Act coordinator, or the Dignity Act coordinator's designee. I just added that into it, Dorada.
Designee. I want to handle this one, I believe it is to you.
Well, so for example,
Who's the dignity and coordinator?
I am,
So I thought,
so, but like, before we had a Title IX person, I was also a Title IX person, but before we had a female one, I would designate Karen Jones
Yeah.
as my Title IX person, because you really should have a female. than a
absolutely.
female. So there might be times like that, that I would feel more comfortable in having a trained professional, or let's say the school psychologist or someone else
Okay.
like doing that. So that's when I would be, I would designate them to do it if I felt it was in the best interest of this person.
Gotcha.
I think we're done.
Yeah,
I think everyone had the opportunity.
One of your own kids.
exactly. Because you know, you're just harder on your own kids than anyone else's.
Everyone had a chance to look at the DASSA complaint form.
I had a comment.
It's on the floor.
Okay.
I haven't seen a reason.
Is that
So-
PDF in the same folder? If you
I have an
Same
answer
Have
to
it
you.
just go
folder.
back.
Go
Can we
back.
Just go back one.
So mine. Okay.
So,
Yeah, see the red one?
so RG, you had a comment asking if we should add off school grounds.
Yeah.
And so our attorney created this form for us. So schools you take care of things that happen off school grounds only if they impact the school day and the child's attendance and ability to come to school, but we're not the bullying and harassment police outside of the school day. So if everybody's doing every little thing that comes in, it really is, if it impacts the school day, if it happens to the child, if it has an impact here, then yes, then you have to deal with those and go through them. But for all incidents that happen outside, schools are not the first response, right? It should be the parent, the police, if it's an harassment issue and other things like that. So I would be hesitant to put in there something saying, and off school grounds.
Yeah, my question was just because the language at the top of the form kind of mirrors the policy language. That's why I was.
And does the
bringing
policy
it up.
say off school grounds?
Well, it talks about a conduct that occurs off school grounds, which could reasonably be.
Right, into the school day.
Yeah.
See, that's where,
Right.
so if it would be the exact language, I would be fine with that. I would just want it to be very clear on, because sometimes that's something we have to explain a lot to parents, especially when this came out, like, I think it was like 10 years ago when it changed. And they said, no, schools, now you are responsible for what happens outside of school because it impacts the school day. I think it was like 10 or 12 years ago that changed. And that was a really big education thing for schools and for community. So if that's something you want to put in, I'd just rather have it mirror what's in the policy.
So the policy does have the language on, let me get to it. Acts of discrimination, harassment, hazing, or bullying that take place at locations outside school grounds, such as cyberbullying, which can be reasonably expected to create a material and substantial interference with the requirements of appropriate discipline in the operation of the school,
Yeah.
or impinge on the rights of other students are prohibited and may be
That's-
subject to disciplinary consequences.
That's material and substantial.
Right, so is that the type of thing that should be reported on a DASSA complaint form?
Yeah, so I'll give you an example of one that I've dealt with in the past. I was in another district, I'm not gonna say the district. Somebody made a desk complaint that someone was making racial slurs and racial comments during that time frame, and they were in school, right? So they were doing it outside of school, but doing it in. It created an environment that they felt uncomfortable to come into school. Therefore, it became material and substantial. So that was something that would be there. So those are things that are there that would be appropriate. I think the material and substantial, that's the
Right. Yeah,
that's
that
the
was my
language I think is
question
important
was,
to put into it.
Do we drop in that sentence, which is a gigantic sentence? But,
Will fit on the form.
yeah,
I'm okay with that, as long as it's clear, right? Because to me, that's clear what the expectation is when people are filing the complaint.
because we say it is the policy to provide, it's basically that first
Mhm.
paragraph.
I'm totally fine
Yeah.
with that.
I think why not have them mirror each other?
Yep.
Are you okay with that, Tim?
Yes. That will be read very closely when people are filling out this form, but
Right.
But we can always go back to it though, and see
Yeah.
what goes on the form.
Right.
Right? And that's-
But I'm trying to understand. So you're saying something might happen off school grounds.
Right.
But it could have an impact on whether or not a student let's say, is willing to come back to
Correct.
school because they fear that that person's gonna be lurking.
Right, or they have school anxiety that comes out of it, or it could become a material and substantial
Gotcha.
hardship for that child to attend school. Right, so therefore, then it would be considered a DASC complaint.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so I think where this is not complete as currently written on the DASC complaint form is it says harassment or discrimination of a student by another student or school employees on school property or at a school function.
Mhm.
Right, because that it limits it to that.
I think you could just add those next sentences like underneath it. Also, the district, if something that happens outside of school, that blah, 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 blah.
Right, I think we
That,
could,
right?
yeah,
This is a PDF though, so.
Oh,
yeah, I couldn't make the edit in the
all right. Where's
document, at least not opening it in Google Docs, which I was
Great,
not.
let me see if I
willing
can
to do.
actually find the document then.
Is this
it in our policy
taking on a liability?
No, because it's law.
It's the law, yeah.
We'd have to do it anyways.
It looks like you're broadening the possibility of the number of people making a complaint.
We get them all the time. They
From
have to.
people off school grounds?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's,
It's the,
when it started 12 years ago, and when I was a principal, it was like, oh my gosh, that's all we were doing for a long time was handling the off school ground things until people kind of understood a little bit more.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that happen outside of school day. So then it's educating parents and community members on the right way to act and see something, say something, and all those things, because it can be very serious, right? And you can have, tragic consequences come out of it if you don't address it.
And remind me again, when this complaint gets filed, what happens?
Then it goes through the DASC complaint form, right? So you go through the investigation, you see if it's founded, unfounded. We have a checklist of everything we have to go through. Like, they go through a large process of an investigation.
And then it goes to the state?
No,
Oh,
then
this
it goes to
doesn't
us.
go to the state.
So then it goes to us. Then we have to do a letter back saying either it was founded or unfounded.
Yeah.
And then we also have to report back in the school climate survey at the end of the state. If it was anything that was founded, we have to report back that it was. So there's a whole litany of things that we have to do to get to those points.
So this is beyond Vader?
It is Vader. It's
Same
called
thing.
it's school climate now. Yeah, they just changed the name.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a whole long process. We did
Well, Vader made it sound like it was violent acts,
and that's why they changed it.
and that's why they changed it. Okay.
When Vader first came out, you had elementary schools being on the list because they were reporting things that were just age appropriate.
Yeah.
But people weren't, like, oh, he pushed me or she
Right,
pushed me.
right.
Well, a kindergarten's going to push somebody by accident because they don't understand control, right? So you had schools doing that. So the state then went through and trained everybody and changed it. So this is just the next evolution of it.
I got you.
Let me see if I can find.
Treat everybody right.
yeah,
It's a more positive
Here it is.
message.
I'm going to move this into there. There we go.
Yeah.
Google's a nightmare sometimes because all the documents are together.
Mhm.
Okay, direct to phone, yeah, dude.
No, you don't.
No.
I'm going to move it.
He's gonna take good care of this.
I'm
too.
already lost. Help me, mommy.
All right.
You need a new Google mom.
I moved it.
I do.
There. I moved it.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim, what I have done for Google, just so you know, I've created a homepage for myself.
Mhm.
And so I've linked with hyperlinks on everything that I use for Google. So it's all in one spot because I just can't function
I made
the
it
normal
happen.
way.
I might pay you extra to come out over to my house and do that.
I'll give you the template. I can borrow
I'll
it from
get you a
somebody
bottle
else.
of bourbon.
I'll come over.
All right. So,
So I put it in, it should be in that
yeah, I
document.
could
now.
open it.
Perfect.
okay.
Are you doing it just cut and paste or do you?
I can't unless I open it in Google Docs. You
Can you
want
see?
me to do that?
I can.
I just don't know where it goes if I do that.
So I'm in the final. Oh,
Mhm.
wrong one. Jeez, please, this is such a big. All right, here's the final.
And, just do this.
I'd rather just get
It almost takes as much work to explain her what to do.
Yep,
as
exactly.
it does to
Okay,
just,
all right.
like, it's not her fault, it's just,
Is
How
it
do
in
you
the first
explain it?
paragraph? Artie,
So,
or what paragraph?
in, final 0115, it's the sentence in the second paragraph, acts of discrimination that take place.
Yep. Got it.
I would just, instead of, and may be subject to disciplinary well, yeah, I guess you can leave the whole thing. Right, because the first sentence, the sentence there in the version of the form says is expressly prohibited, and then we're gonna say are prohibited, and may result in discipline. Right
Yeah.
there, it's
Yeah.
prohibited.
Yeah.
Period.
Are prohibited and may be subject to disciplinary consequences.
Yeah, my point was, I don't think we need the and may be subject to in this form.
Well, not everything's a discipline, right? So
Right.
not everything gets an a disposition, so I would
Right.
still leave may. Because sometimes like, it could just be a conversation or passes or,
Right, that's what I'm saying, I don't know that we need it here, right? Because we're saying if you think these things happen, use the form.
Yeah.
Period. Consequences are later.
just get rid of consequences and leave it are prohibited.
Mhm.
That look. Thank you.
Wait, we forgot if you,
Oh, right. Some
if you
definitely-
believe you or someone has been the target, that should be that last sentence.
It is, isn't it?
It just says to be completed.
No, in the middle of the paragraph, if you believe, that should
Mhm.
be the last sentence.
Oh, so cut that and bring it down, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say.
Oh,
Yeah, if you believe
I got it.
to report all allegations.
I'll do it.
Yep.
I don't think you cut it.
You cut it.
I didn't cut it. I
You
just
copied, you
copied
didn't
it.
cut, yeah.
Better?
Yeah, except the way the current form reads, the to be completed
Yeah, I'd put that,
is
I'd put that
is a
sentence in the
separate-
last sentence in the first paragraph.
Yeah.
So cut.
I got this. I got it. I don't know the shortcut to cut it.
No,
X.
well, okay.
Control.
Yeah, is that better?
I thought if you
No.
believe is the second to last sentence, should be the second to last sentence now.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
So,
So Command X. for-
Take
So
that
here's-
in, put it in front of to be completed by,
And then V is paste.
and then hit a return. Now you're there.
bravo.
And C is copy. You know.
Yeah, and I got the C and B, so X is cut. I did not know that.
I
Thank
don't know
you.
about that bold underline, but that's fine.
The bold and the current version, the bold underline comes after the useless form.
Oh.
And then to be completed is under the bold.
Oh,
Oh, I wonder if I did that
so we
by,
want a space?
That's how it looks on the current
Okay.
version.
Let's see how it fits over.
to be completed is like underneath it.
Yes.
I didn't
And you know
get
what
that.
Jess might be able to do is make this fit better on the pages. Not
Yeah.
that That's
We
important.
could probably
but-
make the
You don't need that, you
Voorheesville
don't need
be
that line.
scaled down.
That line is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Get rid of the line.
We can ask Jess to make it pretty.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
Okay, so with this, I think we have a version of 0115, 115R, and 115E to bring to the full board on November 8th.
Agreed.
Whoa. What time is it? Okay, maybe we have just enough time to get through the 5710, the Vader,
Yeah.
that would go with us. I think I put that stuff in the shared drive. I might be lying to you guys. Let me see.
This is just the current version, right? Just updating the title.
Well, we did get a NISBA sample.
Oh, okay.
Let's hope that it's all the same.
That I
Excuse me.
literally got right before we came to the meeting, so, but I put it in there. The interesting thing is they, maybe I might be lying. Just look at my email. One of them, we have an R and they don't, yeah, right now we have a 5710R. NISBA doesn't have a 5710R, so something to consider.
Alright.
Alright. Do we want to start by pulling up the NISBA sample, or how do you guys want to approach
I have a
this?
NISBA sample, and I was gonna pull up the other one at the same time.
Fancy.
So the current R looks like it's about the reporting system or like the Vader reporting system.
So,
I could probably just go away depending on what's in the sample.
yeah, okay.
And it's from 2003.
Yeah, we can get rid of that.
Yeah, I think it can go
So we have to abolish it at the meeting?
probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to kind of look and see what's different. So NISBA's is from April 2023. Our current 5710 is from December 2009. We want to just start right with NISBA's,
Yeah,
easiest.
I have the other one in front of me, so I can tell you what's different. Yeah. They added a sentence. They took out some of the things and added, took out the Vader stuff, added the SSEC stuff. And then the last sentence, the board will use this data to assess safety. And the educational climate of the schools where appropriate, identify and take steps to improve. That's new. I don't see any reason why you couldn't have it though.
Which one are we working on?
The one that says, that's Voorheesville, so if you want to
Right.
go.
I just made it Voorheesville so I can change it. That's all. Because I had to save it as a document. so
Oh,
we
wait,
could-
you're in the Voorheesville one? You're not in the draft NISBA?
I'm in the draft NISBA, but I made it, I retitled it, saved it as a Google Doc and wrote draft VCSD policy because it wouldn't let me change anything into it if I didn't.
Okay.
I just tried to and it wouldn't let me. So I said I had to rechange it. So that's all I did. So hopefully I can delete
Good
things.
So you're getting rid of the note?
Yep, getting rid of the note.
Wait, yeah, he's in a different one.
Yeah, but it's fine. You guys tell me what to get rid of and I can change it in mine and we should be good. I hope.
This is quite a records retention requirement. Responsible for assuring that copies of
27 years.
until the youngest person involved is 27?
Yeah, I've had criminal cases where they've requested the records of like somebody who committed murder or something like that, and they've come back to school and utilized their school records as part of the case. So we have to do it. Luckily nowadays though,
Which ones we?
like back in the day, everything was handwritten. Now it's all computer based. It's a lot easier to do it. But yeah. Yeah, it's a long time. The records retention requirements for schools,
This one.
It's insane.
there's so much. Attendance is forever.
Should be able to just, the state wants it, package it up and send it to the state. There you go. I mean, why do you want the responsibility and liability?
Yeah, well, we
To have
have
to maintain records for 22
our
years?
records. we have one person who does all of our records retention because there's so many things that we have to follow. So reporting requirement. And get rid of the note.
I mean, if we want to just read through this and then Jess could make it, just take
Yeah.
everything,
That's fine.
so we don't get bogged down.
Yep.
If people are, want to just kind of scroll through and see if you're comfortable with.
The building principals have to do the reports.
Mhm.
I certify them.
I don't personally see anything.
So where they have this sentence on confidentiality, except as otherwise authorized by law, is that too narrow? Because what if it's a court order, like you get subpoenaed?
What would that be, law?
No,
would they
that's
consider that law?
a court order, it's not,
Probably what they meant, the authorized by law.
yeah, I mean, but
Court order will do it.
it would, to me, that means it's in the law.
We get subpoenas a lot on records.
Does the law say that you can,
Respond to them.
respond to a subpoena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our attorney says we have to.
Yeah, no, I know, all right.
Because our
It's in the
attorneys get
law.
them and then they say, here's what you have to do.
All
'Cause it's a judicial subpoena. I mean, if not, you're in violation, right? I mean,
Well, there are times where you receive a subpoena and you have to move to quash it because you think you can't comply.
ours are usually records. It's all record stuff.
Yeah. Comes up a lot in the tax context,
Oh, okay.
where there's, confidential tax information and someone says, give it to me, and you say, nope.
That might be different for schools. I see nothing wrong with that.
I
No, I think
feel
it's fine.
comfortable with it. Are you comfortable
I'm
with this?
comfortable.
Look at
All
that.
right, why don't we mark it final and then maybe Jess could.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Because at the top it says NISBA sample,
Yeah, she'll have to clean up all the
all that stuff.
underlines and,
Perfect.
but I marked it
Although
final.
These things are say required and no.
Yeah, she'll clean all that up.
Mhm. Okay, so we got 57, so we can bring that as a package.
That was nice.
Mhm.
And
Um,
abolish R, right?
and we'll
Yeah.
abolish,
Yeah, our current R is about the reporting system
for Vader.
for Vader.
Yeah.
I think it's all different now.
It's all good.
Um. 710. I think
I'm going back to your agenda.
yeah,
Close.
so does our policy now, when I was reading our original policy, it said that DASA reports have to be shared annually with the board. Oh, that's in 0115.
It's not DASA reports, it's the SSEC climates, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We wouldn't be,
Which I
we
didn't,
wouldn't be sharing DASA reports with the board.
right, I wasn't sure if we currently
No, we don't.
no,
No, that's why I said I think it's a good thing that we go over them.
so.
And I think it'd be
A
good to go over.
summary.
Well, what you go over is what I give to the state. There's no names, there's no anything. It just states if it was founded or unfounded. Like, it's very nondescript.
But currently, I just don't think we have it in place where
No, we
we've
haven't.
done that.
Nope.
If you guys look out at the folders in the policy committee, I added one that's called annual requirements and NISBA quarterly updates. And if you click in there, I started to add, I have a Word document in there called annual policy review requirements. If you want to open that, Frank. So you can see it on the screen.
I gotta go
You see
back.
where I am?
No, I lost my,
Oh,
I lost where I am on my share drive. I gotta go back to it.
It's called annual policy review requirements.
yes, it's just something I just created today. I just cut and paste I asked NISBA what annual policies we had to review. That was her list that you see there on the top.
Where is that one? Tricia? I'm sorry.
It's under, I started a new folder called annual. If you go under policies
Okay.
and then, the annual right here.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I see.
And then this the Word document right there.
Okay.
So I just figured this, if we keep this folder, this will go on with policy forever. and not one of us has to remember it all, maybe.
That's good.
So I cut and paste the list that Jessica at NISBA shared with me, which you see right there, and there's a nice link there. To all other like they have this huge list of, annual notifications
Yes.
and such. But anyway, I just wanted to point out to everyone here that one of the things we're supposed to look at annually is student attendance. And apparently, like, the board is supposed to go over it if the rates went down. We're supposed to see the data.
Hmm.
It says annual review of building level attendance rate is required. This policy must be reviewed and revised only if the rate has decreased. So I think that's also something that's been a little off our radar.
So we have to review the policy or the attendance rates?
I know, I guess if the rates are bad, I don't know what you have to do to your policy, but
Do you want to look at the
I'm looking at,
2023 rates, 2022-23 rates? I can bring them up to the next board meeting and do it as part of my superintendent report.
I think at some point, and if you look down here on the bottom, I put Tricia's notes, and what we just discussed, policy 5710 says we're supposed to look at it as a board annually. So there might just, I don't know if we want to add some of the stuff into like our annual reorg meeting.
Yeah.
Like what would
Well,
make most sense?
We don't
To
do
remember.
5710 until
Oh,
the end of July.
okay.
So we don't certify and finalize those until the end of July. The attendance we could do at the reorg meeting.
Uh-huh.
That one, we would probably have the data ready for that.
I mean, there's no need to wait. I just wanted to see what you guys all thought, like what would make sense to make this like a regular thing we don't forget about.
I
So-
think September, October.
so this policy is gigantic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't even know how many pages it is, but I've been scrolling for quite a while. It was last updated July 8, 2002.
I agree.
There's requirements in here that like all staff have to be provided with a copy of the comprehensive attendance policy and any amendments to such policy. New staff members shall receive a copy of the policy upon commencement of employment.
Maybe we should get a new one.
Yeah, I think this probably needs major updates.
So, yeah, there's an attendance clerk, attendance that we follow, attendance guidelines. But in 20 years, right? You said this was 2002.
2002.
There's probably some major changes.
I think it was on our list.
Which
I don't know.
number is this?
5100.
5100.
Yeah, and it's not just an attendance policy, it's
Okay.
a comprehensive
Why do we keep jumping into these huge things? I think one meeting we just do like 20 though, like one sentence changes.
Yeah, this,
Okay,
this looks like it's not gonna be easy.
okay, so it's on our radar. I'm gonna put it on our rolling list. Obviously, we can't jump in there, but I just wanted to bring attention to this to everybody.
Good work. I'm glad you asked.
But I think going to the point of like what we do, I don't think it's a bad thing to talk about attendance rates and then what the school district does about attendance.
Yeah.
And also, because we're talking a lot within, our own staff a lot, that we have to change the mentality and educate people a little bit more on what attendance is in school and why it's important. And, if you're going to go to something in Virginia that, that's still a day missed of school, right? It's an important day that you still need to be here because that negatively impacts the school and its attendance rates. It's not an excused absence. So I think having that conversation publicly is a good thing. And maybe, us getting a little report from what we do every once in a while would be good too.
Okay,
So I do like the idea of talking about this more public.
Now I'm looking at this thing you've got for municipal, with all these installments.
mhm.
Which one is this on?
I was just looking, I don't know if I see it on here. I only noticed because when I asked what we have to do annually as a board, it was on that list.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh my gosh,
So we'll just add another one to the list of things to do.
yeah. Oh, it's way back down on the student handbook considerations. We sort of had it on our radar from an article that NISBA published, but anyway, I'll put it on my notes that we need to take a look, and also it's something we need to do annually. Looking at the numbers annually. And also the 5710. We need to annually. Is there a preferred time you want to do that with the board?
So 5710 is an annual notification, right?
No, I
Not a
think,
policy review, right?
It just gives you, show the SSEC report, the school plan
Yes.
report.
Oh, right.
Again, I think that can either be August or
Mhm.
September after I file them.
okay. And also in that new folder that I created, that the Word document under that says NISBA Policy Update Service. This is, I've been sending this to you guys. I'm just
I like it.
putting it here too. I'm trying to get it to open,
I
but
like that.
when I have time, I try to just add in purple where we currently are for Voorheesville.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking as we get through these, I'll just start deleting them. But this kept all
These are all
the,
the installments.
I
yeah,
feel like we did that already.
which one?
The timeout and physical restraint, I thought we just updated
I think
that.
we talked about it and it was, we had explanation from NISBA. I don't know if we ever,
Really? I feel like we did.
did we
My
decide to move on?
recollection is, I thought you wanted to get input from staff. Am I wrong?
No, I don't remember.
Well, it's all in that folder.
Yeah.
You'll see, you cut and paste the conversation you had with NISBA about it.
Okay,
It's in there.
all right.
I just didn't know if we
We'll have to go back with them.
we're finally done. But anyway, just so you guys on this team know that this is here and, because some of this is probably gonna outlive this year's group.
Oh my
Punch.
Well, the
Stuff.
good news is NISBA people, those same people that are doing this stuff, they've been there forever.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah, the four of them have been employees there going 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
And the last thing I put in that folder is that PDF, which I just cut and paste from NISBA's website. This is all the required parent-student notifications.
This is great.
So they maintain this on their website. I thought it would be easy for you guys. That link is in that first one and you either go to their website or I just wanted to put it in here so we would talk about it before I'd forgot.
Would you
Number
mind
that,
if I share this with communications? This,
No.
only this one?
Is that 5100?
If you scroll down over here,
Yeah.
I think communications could do a nice
please don't, if you see
presentation
the
of
word,
all the.
yeah.
That's how I
created
feel.
this folder.
Yeah.
If you go
Give
in
it to
there-
communications,
Yeah,
let them
I
do it,
haven't done
then
that.
it's done,
It's really
right?
make it pretty
Yeah.
and-
That's the
That's a-
national alert thing.
No, that's a fire
No,
alarm.
that already
Oh,
happened.
never mind.
Okay, this concludes our
All
meeting.
right.
That does conclude our
Thank you,
meeting.
everyone.
A fire emergency has been reported in the building. Proceed to the nearest.
No, we have to leave the building.
Do not use